You know these super satisfying swipe and slice games like Fruit Ninja? Ever wondered what's going on under the hood? Well, today we are going to tear one apart. We are breaking down the code for a simple swipe game that we have already built in Unity, showing you exactly how it works, especially with the cool new input system. We will start by decoding your swipe. After that, we will see how target gets panned and sliced. We will cover the rules, scores and lives. And finally, we will put it all together to see the big picture. Alright, let's jump in. First, every game needs a central controller, right? For us, that's the game manager. So what is the game manager? Just think of it like the director of a movie. It's not one of the actors, it's not the background, but it's the one telling everyone, and it's basically the brain of the whole operation. The central hub where all the important decisions get made. And man, this director has a lot of jobs. Just look at this list. It handles the game state. It's in charge of spanning the targets, keeping track of the score, managing your lives, and controlling the UI. Seriously, this thing is the puppet master. As you go, you are going to see its fingerprints. Okay. On to the next piece of the puzzle, it's your swipe. This is where it all begins with you. We are going to dive into how the game takes that physical flick of your finger across a screen or a click and drag with the mouse. And right, so how does this actually work? How does the code see your swipe? I mean, how does it know when you have touched the screen or where your finger is going? This used to be kind of tricky, honestly, but Unity's new input system makes it way simpler. The magic really begins right here with these two little lines of code. See, with Unity, we stop thinking about specific things like a mouse click or a finger tap. Instead, we just create these abstract actions. We have one action for a press and other one that just tracks the position. This is awesome because our code doesn't care how you press, just that you did. Super flexible. Okay, so check this out. This is the entire life of a single swipe, step by step. First, your game detects that press action and knows the swipe has begun. Instantly, it tells our click and swipe script to make the cool visual trail appear. Then, as you move your finger, it constantly updating where the trail is. And finally, the game detects the release and poof, the trail gets hidden away. It's just a really clean, simple and super effective little system. Alright, we have got our swipe down. But a swipe is kind of pointless without something. So let's bring the actors onto the stage and talk about how these targets get made. This part is handled back in our director script, the game manager. It uses a really handy tool called a coroutine. The easiest way to think about a coroutine is that it will wait for a movement, that's our span rate, then it will grab a random target from a list and use instantiate to pop a new one onto the game. Then it just pauses again and repeats that loop over and over. Of course, not all targets are created equal, right? Some are good, some are bad. Each one has a little script on it that's take its personality card. A simple little check for is good and a point value decides everything. If you slice a good one, you will get the point. Slice a bad one, you lose points. It's exactly how you'd set up something like fruit versus bombs in a game. Now, this is a really important idea to get. The actual slicing isn't one thing doing one. It's actually more like a quick conversation happening between two different scripts. The script on your swipe trail and the script on the target. Okay, so first let's listen it on the swipe side of the conversation. Our click and swipe script has what's called a trigger collider on it. You can think of it like a little invisible sensor. The moment that sensor touches another object, it says, hey, what are you? It grabs that object target script and calls its onHit function. And here's the target reply. As soon as its onHit function gets called, it immediately radios the main boss, the game manager. It says, hey, I have been hit. Update the score with my point value. And once it's delivered, it just destroys itself and disappears from the game. Conversation over. Slicing stuff is awesome, but it's not really a game without some stakes, right? You need rules. You need a way to win and a way to lose. So let's talk about how our game manager handles the all important score and lives. It all begins with the number 3. That's it. When you start the game manager start game function sets your life's value to 3. But from that point on, every single thing you do, every slice you make, and every target you miss is going to change that number. So every good target that appears have one of two fates. It's a fork on the road. Part number 1, you slice it. Awesome. Its script tells the game manager to give you some points. And then there is part number 2. You miss. It tumbles off the screen, hits an invisible sensor at the bottom, and that sensor tells the game manager, nope, take away life. Two completely different outcomes, and our director is managing the both. And you can probably guess where this is going. Every single time you lose a life, the game manager does a quick check inside its update life function. It just asks, are the lives at 0 yet? And the moment the answer is yes, boom, it calls the game over function. Everything stops and the game over screen pops up. Okay, we have looked at all these separated pieces now. The director, the swipe, the target, the rules. Now for the really cool part, let's zoom out and see how all these pieces click together like a machine to create the entire gameplay loop from start to finish. And believe it or not, the whole thing kicks off before you even see a single target. It starts right on the title screen. There's a simple button with a tiny script. All that the script does is, when you click it, it pokes the game manager and says, hey, start the game, and passes along the difficulty level that you choose. That one little click is the domino that starts the whole chain reaction. And here it is. The whole system in action, the entire chain of command. The difficulty button tells the game manager to get started. The game manager starts throwing our target and listening for your input. You swipe, which activates the click and swipe object. That object collides with the target and tells it that it's been hit. The target then reports back to the game manager to update the score before it disappears. It's just this elegant, clean loop of communication between all the parts, and that's what makes this game work. Look, seeing how these simple parts talk to each other, that's the whole secret. Now that you have seen the blueprint, now that you get how a central manager can direct other objects and how one action causes a reaction, well, now the real fun starts. So I got to ask, what's the first cool feature you would build on top of this? A combo system, a target that splits into two, and once you get the logic, you can build anything. The possibilities are all yours.